Hey, remember the Supreme Court decision in Citizens United versus FEC? Remember how you were super up in arms? And ever since, with all the super PAC expenditures in political campaigns, you were up in arms the whole time, ever since, right? 2010 was the Supreme Court decision in Citizens United. Remember how you have never put down the pitchfork on that fight? Oh, that's not true. You did, didn't you? Yeah, you kind of got mad for a couple days. Like as long as the media was telling you about it, you were really pissed off. And you knew a lot about it, right? You studied campaign finance and you knew exactly what a super PAC was and is, right? Before you got mad and took a side in that fight, you studied what it is, right? Right? No, you didn't do that. You didn't. You just jumped on a side. Whatever side your favorite media channel told you to be on, you were on. And it's not like you watched the news on that channel and said in that moment, hey, that guy told me to believe this, so I'm going to do it because I like this channel. No, you just do it. You don't think about it. It's not conscious. You're already watching that channel because you tend to believe the same kinds of things that the people on the station say. That's why you're watching it. Duh. So of course you're going to be on the same side of this fight. What's a super PAC? You don't really know. But you know you hate them. So you got really mad about it. Remember all that? When's the last time you thought about a super PAC? It's been a while, huh? Sure. Remember when you got real mad about SOPA and PIPA? What was that, like 7, 8 years ago? Remember how before you sided in that war, you studied a lot and really came to know the ins and outs of intellectual property, the history of patents and copyrights. What would it actually mean for not even just the musicians involved, but the entire economy, the entire notion of intellectual property? Why do we protect things the way we do in that way? But you learned all that when you were studying it before you took a side, remember? No, of course you didn't. You just got real mad about it. SOPA and PIPA, man. You got to be against that, right? Ooh. You knew plenty. You knew enough the moment you heard those acronyms. That's all you needed to know. I'm against it. And then remember how you kept up the fight for a long time since and you really haven't stopped? Nah, of course not. You didn't do that either. That outrage lasted for a couple days and then it was over. Whatever happened with that? You must know since you were so emotionally invested in that fight. Whatever happened with that? You know? Nah, of course you don't know. Remember when you posted the equals sign to your Facebook profile? Remember how much that changed the world? Do you even remember why you did that? What was the proximate cause of that mass movement of equal sign posting? Huh. Weird. Have you posted an equal sign since then? Like, how's that been going for you? Still an important action, a political move to make? Is that good? It's meaningful? Yeah, of course it is. Remember when Donald Trump got elected and you couldn't even go to college? You had to stay home that week because it was too emotional. Couldn't believe it. How'd that work out? Remember how you wanted to impeach him after he got elected? Like before he even took office, you wanted to impeach him. Remember that? How'd that go? And hey, how's that fight against, or that fight protecting open internet? Remember that? Remember when you came to know the name Ajit Pai, the chairman of the FCC? Remember how you've always known a bunch of the FCC people. Not only just the chairman, but all the members. You know how many members of the FCC there are, right? You actually might know that. But have you ever known any member of the FCC before or since Ajit Pai? Of course not. Why would you? And do you even know what happened with that open internet fight? And how has it affected your life as the end user of internet service? How has that changed your life? How has that changed anyone's life? Who has benefited from that? Do you remember what the fight was? But you were really pissed off about it. You remember that much. Yeah, remember how that came and went? It was over in a couple days and you forgot all about it. Have you? No. Are you still fighting that fight? You still studying up on open internet and the relationship of service providers and the companies that would maybe pay to slow things down? Remember all that? And how'd that go? Yeah, of course you don't know. Of course you never knew. You just took a side. But it was like the most important thing in the world for you for a couple weeks. And then how's your life been going since then? Nothing different? Like in every case I've named, has there anything changed? No. You just get real pissed off for a couple weeks, and you move on, and nothing changes. Weird. Are you ever going to realize the pattern here, the cycle? Because you're living it again right now. Do you know that? Every time you post about Black Lives Matter, and you shame all the racists out there, and you don't change a damn bit of shit. And then in a couple weeks, we'll go back to normal. And you'll forget all about this, and you'll be on to the next thing to be outraged about, and you wouldn't have contributed to anything.